printouts that has the instructions for the volunteers. They're called
super easy.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna ask you stuff and you answer.
I'll probably still play it the same way I used to, where I just ask Mark what to do.
No, I ask you what to do this time. It's different.
No, I want to do this. I do. Okay,
Well,
wizard
what do you
background.
want to do, Mark?
Win everything.
You win. Game over.
Good job.
The Grimoire completely unlocks and opens all its secrets to you, and you're the most powerful wizard in the world. The end.
Super lava boots.
Let me go ahead and read the chat. Hello. Read the introduction to the Volunteer's Guide for you and for the benefit of anyone who happens to be watching.
Still making you do stuff.
So this is the Wizard Grimoire. This is going to be the second session. I've already played a session with Heath and Peter volunteering with me. And it doesn't really, you don't really need to know that much about what happened before. So your goal in the game, you're doing me a favor just by playing, so you don't have to worry about winning or losing. The goal is just to say things that you personally find honestly entertaining. Your main job is to get with the other volunteer and make up answers to my questions. I'll ask things like, I'm set upon by raiders, what are they like? And you and your fellow volunteer can imagine any raiders you want, exactly the raiders you find most fun, and tell me about them together. If you want to ask me any questions before you answer mine, to make sure you've got all the details right or whatever, please do. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Sometimes the answer to one of my questions will be obvious, or you'll already know it from what somebody said before. In that case, just give the obvious answer. Sometimes my questions will be way out, weird, or contextless. You can always ask me clarifying questions, or you can just make something up and I have to deal with it. Sometimes I'll ask you to choose something from a list. Just go ahead and do that. And there's a sheet called the bestiary that basically just says, like, this is what the world is like. This is what humans are like. This is what magic is like. It's pretty straightforward. For anything to count, you and the other volunteer have to agree on it. If you don't agree about it, it's not true until you do.
Nice.
There are two of you. That way you can trade off and build on each other's ideas. So neither of you has to do all the work of GMing. If you have any trouble coming to agreement, or you want to use some kind of system to decide, rock, paper, scissors, or an oracle or something, you do whatever you like. Ending the game, any of us can end the game whenever we want for any reason or not at all. It doesn't matter how abrupt it might be. If at any point it seems impossible to entertain yourself or not worth it or anything like that, don't hesitate, just call an end. And that is the entirety of your rules. Mine are a little bit more, but that's fine.
Ours are just to like have fun.
If I remember correctly, you have this grimoire.
Yeah, I have the
unlock chapters of
the signature of the Wizard Ibesta of the two courts. My name is Aquarex of the West, he and him. I am in equal parts ambitious, bold, cunning, and non-virtuous right now. Basically, the stats are determined by me answering some questions and then adding points. And if I want to change my stats at the beginning of a session, I can re-answer the questions. I looked at the questions. I don't think I've changed that much. Occasionally, there will be things I need to exert myself to do, which means make rolls for. And we will see what that looks like. I can exert myself empathetically, magically, mentally, physically, subtly, violently, or just submit to circumstance and see what happens. So last time we ended in a town of where's my book? Telenor was the guy at this bar, an inn, that had some secrets about the book that I was told by a dream eater.
Well, it's written down somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of details. It's like I don't remember any of them. Names, names. Worst GM ever. Volunteers, all right, not GM,
or
volunteer.
Best.
Yeah, and really, it doesn't matter what happened last time. We can just make it up as we go along. All I have is in my notes is in my. I am bound to return the signature to Telenor once I've learned its secret or died in the process. And he's teaching me siligomancy, which is bread magic.
Oh yeah.
Known to the commoner as Bredomancy.
Yeah, Bredomancy. I have a couple spells I can do, which are fun, but not many, so I want to learn more. So basically, each session is going to start with a spawning circumstance, and I can just choose one. Can you give me number 1 through 12 just to give me some place to look?
12.
We did 12 last time.
Oh, did we? What'd
Oh.
you say, Nate? We have both agreed it's 12 again.
We have decided. Do not
cool,
resist us.
Number 2. This actually fits. So
It's going well so far.
I've taken up in this tavern.
Power's been undermined.
Whose name escapes me.
Just wait.
It was good, whatever it was. At home, hoping to pursue the quiet study of the signature when someone interrupts me. They've heard that I'm a wizard and they need my help. Who they are and what they need, I don't yet know. And now I ask you questions. So there's a knock on my door at the inn. I am disturbed, but I open it because it could be Telenor with some bread. Who do I see when I open the door?
Someone has summoned you. They need help. Someone did a we need to talk later text.
Someone has heard that I'm a wizard and they need my help, and I don't know who they are yet.
This is really rude. Okay.
I think it's a lady in very common clothing.
Cool.
Like an apron. And it's very, very like plain, like lower stature, not a noble person or anything. Like a working type class.
A working lady. Of which there are several in this town.
Yes.
Seraph isn't in this game.
That's wrong game.
I hope not. It's quite dangerous.
And this lady wants to try to have sex with you and swap bodies. Wait.
Okay.
Don't do it. Don't talk to her.
That is within the realm of things that can happen.
Don't talk to any of them. You'll die. People who hang out die.
Cool. So I guess if I don't recognize her, just.
Yeah, I guess how much detail are we wanting? We're supposed to agree on this. I guess I'm.
Yeah, as much as you want, as much as we.
Or
I can ask
more
clarifying
her
questions.
Her name
as well.
is Rigorella.
Rigorella.
Ooh. That's all I know so far. Yeah, Rigorella.
Great.
I think I know. Yeah.
Do I know you?
She's like, no, not yet. But I need to know you. I've heard that you're the only one near the village who's got any knowledge of bredomancy.
I mean, there's Telenor downstairs. Sure, he'd be happy to help you. I'm kind of busy right now.
Well, he's busy running the thing, and he said that you were you needed to learn your bredomancy, and this could be like a trial for you if you could help me.
Telenor said that. Okay. Sure.
This is the zero good part.
What can I do for you?
Well, we got. Oh, hold on. Let me look at the Grimoire. Remember what these things are called? The plasmas. There's a rogue plasmid who's come back again. We thought we were rid of it, but it's currently it's haunting the mill because we can't make more grain and mill things anymore because it's in there trying to eat all the grain, and if it eats all the grain, we won't have enough food for the winter, and we'll have nothing to make more bread or more baked goods, and we'll all starve to death and die.
Nick, do you agree?
Yeah, I'm still trying to understand the game.
Yeah.
And I think I was like, it's about wheat. Her name is Rigorella, so far it's correct. Keep this getting it exactly right. So,
for those who are not familiar, in this game, plasmids are creatures made of magical energy, an expression of magical processes. The way that a living thing is an expression of biological processes. Plasmids no more understand our systems or concerns than we can understand theirs, and so appear to us to be fixated, flighty, fractious, negligent, stubborn, overliteral, malicious, and exacting. Rogue plasmids or free plasmids are no more than plasmids for whom the speaker has no use. There's a remnites are plasma creatures left over after the dissolution of its original purpose.
Just like old spells.
Thinking more
the way that, yeah, the way that spells work is that basically wizards harness these plasmids into their brain and then release their energy to cast the spell. And that's why you can like memorize the spell and it goes away. Cool. Rogue knight in the mill.
Yes, well, because I mean, with all the bredomancy that Telenor has taught others, naturally, when they're first learning, they don't have control, and so it ends up with lots of plasmids, and we end up with lots of rogue plasmids, and most of them have been taken care of. But we thought this one was too, but it's back.
So what is it? What is it doing that's preventing you from milling?
Scaring everyone away and eating the grain in the mill quickly. I mean, it's probably eaten a quarter of the grain in the mill already. And Telenor said that you could probably, like, if you were to, with all that grain there, we could probably save half the grain if you were to use like a quarter of the grain and use your bredomancy to make it into like the largest muffin ever.
I don't know that I have enough bredomancy to do that, but you're dropping in and out on my end over here.
I'm having trouble hearing. I'm not sure if I need to change where I am or.
Let me see. I think
maybe it's our internet.
Yeah, it might be our internet.
So far, I don't think you guys have dropped out on me so far, so that's good.
So it's scaring people and
quickly consuming the stored grain.
Quickly consuming the stored grain. Oh, are you sure it's not just rats?
I've seen rats, and rats aren't like big wispy clouds of smoke screaming and flying around a mill.
Screaming. Okay.
Plus, my Tybalt is the town's rat catcher, and if they were rats, Tybalt would have gotten them already. But he's not a plasmid catcher, and we need you.
Well, I'm not really a plasmid catcher either, but if Telenor is busy,
what do wizards do?
Study mostly. Really, it's a lot.
It seems like you would have a lot of. Sounds like you would have some free time then if you're just reading.
I have so many books to read. Look at my library. All right. I guess I'm at a stopping point since I've been interrupted. So point the way and I'll see what I can see.
Oh, good, because I wasn't going to leave until you came.
Cool. So we go. What does the mill look like when we get there?
It's kind of a rundown. It's made of stone. It's not mortared together. That's just held together by gravity. And it's not run down. Very well loved. It's functional and it's not totally falling apart. It still works, but is kind of disheveled.
Is it a windmill or water wheel, or they do it by hand? Magic?
It's a multi-mill. That's why it's so important to the town center. They got the big windmilly part up top, and there is a river that flows right by it too that gets another little water wheel going, so they can really do some milling at this mill.
Okay, they got multiple.
Yeah,
things.
Which is you could get through wheat really quickly if all the elements are with you.
This town is really known for its multi-mill.
Is there anyone around in or about the mill?
I don't know. I would say not right now because the rogue plasmid has scared everyone away, and that's part of the problem. I think you can hear usually behind the stones from within the mill. You can definitely hear a supernatural type screaming, and every now and then the mill kind of vibrates, and like little fine bits of grain will like kind of poof out from the cracks between the rocks in the mill. So there's like
Nice.
there's a ruckus. There's a ruckus going on in there.
All right. Hey, it's Peter in the chat. Okay, the ruckus in the mill. And what is Rigorella? What's her disposition like? Is she scared, curious? Does she want to come with?
I mean, I would say she's pretty panicked when you say, Nick. You know, I mean, the mill, it's kind of an urgent matter because, you know, the longer before this thing's taken, that's just the more grain that's getting consumed every hour.
Power.
So yeah, I mean, the point, basically, her point being, you know,
Are we back?
you will have to use up. Oh, did we lose Nick? Did you lose me? Because I see you.
I hear you, but I'm not seeing you move.
Oh, weird.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't see a Nick. I do see a you. Oh, she's moving closer to the Roger. There, there. Yeah, you're great on my end.
It's just getting stuff is the problem.
Yeah, kind of need to know stuff, huh?
Second.
I thought we lived in a technological age full of amazing
Or
miracles and
plasmids.
internets.
Yeah, it's probably plasmids.
Probably. So you said Rigorella is
I mean, I was saying, I think she's pretty panicked because it's an urgent matter. The longer you wait, every hour, more and more grain is being consumed.
mm,
And so they're at the point now where, like, you're going to have to use some of the grain in your breadomancy to make a giant entrapment muffin. But the amount
I
of
don't
grain you
have
will
any
have to.
breadomancy.
Well,
I
Telenor's
can,
been
can
training you. This is kind of like, you know, you got to
yeah.
try. You got to try
I
some.
just haven't
You've
learned
been reading
anything
all
yet.
these books.
I've been reading different books. Telenor's not a very good teacher. He's not very patient. I think he just wants me to make bread for him. I'm not sure there's any magic involved at all.
I mean, that's similar to what the villagers are doing. I think they just want you to do stuff for them.
Well, let's think about
Well, the real
your.
I think
I
I'm going.
I was just looking at your acts of magic.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I think your
I think the
unveil your
ominous.
wizardess senses is a thing you can do,
Ooh,
right?
yeah.
And that kind of seems like, you know, when you're trying to feel out the path of a new magic, this breadomancy, it
Yeah.
falls under that purveyance. Is that the right word?
Purveyance. Yeah. I think
it's perversion.
before I jump into this, I want to kind of get a read on Gorilla first.
We are
So
in a hurry.
I'm going to try to study and understand someone empathetically, which I am not very good at. I have a one die in that, so I'm going to roll one die here and see.
And remind me, it's real simple. It's like one, two, what's the roll mean?
Yeah, so I roll a number of dice equal to my score in that. I have a 1 in empathy out of like 4 or 5. Hits are 4, 5s, or 6s. Any hits are good. If it's a miss, well, we'll see. A 2. That's no good. So I get to ask a question still, but I am being calculating and not empathetic, and they can tell. And so the question I want to ask is there something that they're hiding from me? And if so, what?
Yeah, I had the thread at the beginning. I don't think I have it totally. But the multi-mill is famous because it does so many things, but also perhaps we had been cutting corners and perhaps we had been being careful. So perhaps this was kind of inevitable.
And how does she react to me being like calculating, asking her questions instead of being empathetic?
I think, and then you get that information because she is like, well, what would you do? It sounds like you got to get through all. You got to get through all.
That magic is a serious and dangerous
Is that why
proposition.
You're doing it so slowly?
Yeah,
we wouldn't even have this rogue plasmid if
love it.
I'm ready to fight.
I don't know.
Don't try to put this on Rigorella. Their mill